gonna watch this one first, this BossMan Dlow video. He exposed why hip-hop is dying. Dude, I kind of felt like that too. Like, and I feel like that a lot sometimes. And like I love hip hop. Like that's my literal favorite genre. Like I freaking love hip hop. But then I find like new songs that I like, and I'm like, damn, okay, it's still cracking. Like, you know what I mean? It's like an on and off thing. You feel me? But let's see what BossMan Dlow had to say about that. BossMan Dlow is actually one of my favorite rappers. Like, no lie, I love BossMan Dlow. Mr. Pot Scraper is an unbelievable song, but that's not the only song I know by him. Like, I have a bunch of BossMan Dlow songs. Let me see. Alright, so a banger, The Biggest Part 2. That's one of the ones that I've been banging lately. It's this. Oh my god, that shit's so hard. Yeah, that shit's hard. Biggest Part 2. For days, this one goes crazy. I don't know if y'all know this one. It's Big Zai. I got Zai loads for days. I be dripped out. I got designer clothes for days. All right, then we got this one, What You Need, with featuring No Cap. There's some damn detergent. Like dude, I love BossMan Dlow. Pushing Up, Obama Runs, Mike Smith, Dove, I Don't Want to Hear It, PJ with Lil Baby, Creed, The Biggest, Mr. Pot Scraper, Piss Me Off, Finesse, Get In With Me. You know, I really like BossMan Dlow, so that's why I'm interested to hear what he had to say. Let's see.
Minute 30.
Yeah, you in and out.
20. Don't want to do nothing but hear that shit one time, run it back if it was that gas.
Wait, a minute 30 or a minute 20? He's saying that's how long his songs are? Let me see if he's capping about that. So he on The Biggest Part 2, 2 minutes 30. For Days, 2 minutes 40. What You Need, 3 minutes 18. Pushing Up, 2 minutes. Obama Runs, 3 minutes. He doesn't have any songs that are a minute 20 or a minute 30. So I don't know what he's talking about.
My song's a minute 30.
Yeah, you in and out.
20. Don't want to do nothing but hear that shit one time, run it back if it was that gas. Another minute 20. Okay, next song. Bro, like these songs coming out, these shorter and shorter and shorter. Like the hits coming out, these short, and then the hits that's coming out that's long, they're getting turned off halfway in the song.
I mean, he probably knows about it more than me because he looks at like analytics for probably like Spotify and stuff. But his songs are mostly longer than that, and his are gas, and I don't ever turn them off like halfway through. Like for me, I don't ever play a song only halfway. I'll usually listen to the whole damn song. But I do know a lot of people that do like kind of change them pretty frequently, so he's probably right.
They listening, they going hook, verse, back to the hook one more time. I don't hear this shit more. I don't want to hear the second verse and then hear the hook again. Nah, they cut it off.
I mean, now that he's saying that does kind of make sense. Like hooks for me get kind of old. Like once I hear the hook once, like he's right. I don't really want to hear the hook again. I like more than one verse in a song, but the hook, like when they're doing the hook too many times, I don't like it. That's why I like Rio to Young OG, like where he does songs with no hooks, like he's just like straight bars the whole time. That's a pretty good strategy, bro, because hooks do get pretty old. Like I'm not that much of a hook fan. If it's a really good hook, I'll fuck with it, but like if the hook's not that crazy, I don't want to hear it that many times.
Now the clip I just played was of rapper BossMan Dlow explaining why he chooses to release short rap songs. It's a topic I think deserves more attention because it reflects a larger shift happening in the rap industry. His reasoning isn't just about personal preference, it's a response to how the music industry operates today, and it ties directly to what many believe is contributing to the decline of rap as an art form. Shorter raps.
Dude, Blackie Speaks used to not show his face. He did a face reveal, and I guess now he shows himself in his videos.
Songs have become increasingly popular.
Out of Town featuring BossMan Dlow, 2:30. Get In With Me, 2 minutes. Damn. Yeah, these are actually pretty short songs. But none of these, only some of these are in my playlist. Like some of these aren't even my favorite, to be honest. Only some of these are on my Dlow playlist.
Driven by factors like streaming algorithms, social media trends, and the ever-shortening attention spans of listeners, But BossMan Dlow's perspective adds another layer to this conversation, one that highlights both the practicality and the pitfalls of this approach. In this video, I want to dive deeper into why artists like BossMan Dlow feel compelled to adapt their music in this way. Is it about survival in an industry that values numbers over substance, or is it a creative choice rooted in something more intentional? Let's talk about what he said. A lot of people might already recognize the name BossMan Dlow. I came a long way from lunch trays and eat rice. He's a 26-year-old rising star in hip-hop, a Florida rapper who's been making serious waves this year. As a fresh face in the game, he's quick.
Dude, BossMan Dlow really did, dude, he took the industry by storm, actually. It's really unbelievable. The song that got him cracking was Mr. Pot Scraper. Let me see when that even came out. Mr. Pot Scraper, BossMan Dlow. 10 months ago, dude. 10 months ago, that's it. 59 million views, bro. Yeah, BossMan Dlow, dude, he's that guy, actually. And y'all heard how many songs I have him on my playlist. Let me see. So we got... I got a new one that's featuring 𝐂𝐑𝐄𝐃. I don't know if y'all know him. He's fairly new and he's cracking right now, but he goes insane. So I got one with him, the new one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 songs of BossMan Dlow on my playlist, and he only released Mr. Pot Scraper 10 months ago, and that was a song that put me onto him. So, dude, he's like that, bro. For me to add 16 songs to my playlist within 10 months, dude, he's cracking, you feel me?
Carving out a unique lane for himself, standing out with his distinct style and approach to music. I actually think BossMan Dlow is one of the more memorable new rappers out right now. He's a street rapper, which is a style a lot of people are gravitating towards these days. What sets him apart for me, though, is his focus on money and success, rather than just rapping about violence. Kind of like...
Yeah, he raps about fly shit mostly. He doesn't rap about, oh, I'm gonna spin on the op, so I'm gonna drop a Glock and I'm gonna shoot up the block, and he doesn't do any of that really. He's mostly just rapping about fly shit.
Like the late young Dolph, rest in peace. If I'm gonna listen to a street rapper, I tend to gravitate towards those who bring that hustler mentality into their music. After all, who doesn't like hearing about getting to the bag?
I'm kind of with that too. I'm not gonna say that I don't like listening to stuff about sliding on ops and this and that. I love drill music, King Von, Chief Keef. I love all that stuff. But dude, I was a crazy drill fan. Y'all don't even know. Rondo Number 9, L.A. Capone. Dude, I was I was deep in the drill scene, bro. I love drill music, actually. But recently, nowadays, I've been really on the fly wave mostly. BossMan Dlow, Blue Bucks Clan comes to mind. Young Dolph, like he said. Let me see. 𝐂𝐑𝐄𝐃. He's a rapper out of Dallas, and dude, oh my gosh, his is so hard. And he doesn't rap about sliding on ops. He's just rapping about fly shit mostly. Let's see who else I have on here. I also like Draco the Ruler. He raps a lot about fly shit, but he also, he raps about popping it, but Future, he mostly raps about fly shit, you know what I mean? Mostly, I'm gonna say, I mostly gravitate to the fly shit. That's not to say that I don't actually like drill type music.
Recently came across an interview BossMan Dlow did with hip-hop podcasters Gilly and Wallow, where he explained why he chooses to drop short rap songs. This clip from the interview was originally posted by No Labels Necessary on Instagram and has been reposted all over the platforms, sparking a lot of conversation. I want to touch on this topic because it's highly relevant to the ongoing conversation about why so many people are saying that rap is dying. Short rap songs and short songs in general have become the wave in the music industry. This trend is largely driven by streaming platforms, where shorter tracks mean higher replay value and more streams, ultimately boosting an artist's numbers. It's a strategic move that aligns with fast-paced consumption habits of today's listeners.
That's kind of like the same thing as the TikTok algorithm and Shorts algorithm. The shorter you make your YouTube short or your TikTok, the more likely someone is to play it more than once. Or even they just let it play and then it plays the whole thing essentially. It doesn't even have to play more than once. If they just play the whole thing or play it more than once, it boosts you in the algorithm like crazy. So essentially making shorter TikToks and Reels and YouTube Shorts, it boosts you in the algorithm way higher. But for me, when I post one of them, like, I usually can barely even fit all that I want to fit into it into 1 minute. So essentially, it's really hard for me, even though I know that it's going to get boosted in the algorithm if I just post like a freaking 15-second clip. Like, okay, even for an example, my most cracking short that I've ever posted on YouTube was 12,000 views, and let's see, it was really short, 25 seconds. And then my second highest one, 10 seconds, 12K on the 25-second video, 10K on the 4K on the 10-second short. So like essentially, and yeah, all of my most popular ones are the shortest ones. So essentially, like I said, it's hard for me to get it all into a short, like under 1 minute usually. So mine are all usually like close to 1 minute, and that's why I feel like they don't crack off as much. I need to try to think about that next time I post, because it's really a real thing. If you post it too long, people are probably not going to watch the whole thing, and it's not going to put you in the algorithm like that, you feel me?
Often prefer quick, digestible content over longer, more intricate tracks. Specifically in hip-hop, this trend gained significant traction during the SoundCloud era.
That's what, dude, I don't like that though. Like, long-form content is where it's at, bro. Like, short-form content, you can't even get any money off that, really. Like, you can, but you got to get so many views. Like, everyone's attention span, I feel like once Reels and TikTok came out, it's just like no one it's a known thing. Like, everyone's attention span is way lower now because that's all we're consuming is short form content, which I don't like that. I don't usually consume short form content that much. Like, sometimes I'll watch it, but for the most part I watch podcasts or like video essays. So yeah, I steer clear from that, but most people are like, their attention spans are fried.
You might remember how rappers like 𝐂𝐑𝐄𝐀𝐓𝐎𝐑, Dlow and others from that time began dropping extremely short songs that quickly skyrocketed in popularity. Tracks like 𝐂𝐑𝐄𝐃𝐄's Look At Me and Lil Pump's Gucci Gang were not only catchy but also concise, clocking in at under 3 minutes. The reason? Replay value. These short tracks encourage listeners to hit that replay button over and over again, ultimately boosting their streaming numbers and helping them climb the charts faster. Platforms like SoundCloud rewarded this kind of engagement. These songs were perfectly tailored for the platform and the era. They fit into the fast-paced consumption habits of listeners and thrived on repeat plays, a key factor in driving their virality. Their brevity made them ideal for SoundCloud's younger audience, who were drawn to high-energy, easily consumable tracks that didn't demand a lengthy attention span.
Find a pet-friendly Italian restaurant with outdoor seating nearby and text it to Luca.
Algorithms have changed the way music is consumed and created. Streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, and platforms like TikTok reward songs that capture attention quickly and keep listeners engaged. Shorter songs naturally fit this mold. They grab the listener's attention within seconds and often end before the listener even considers skipping. This shift has reshaped the creative process for many artists, especially in hip-hop. Instead of focusing on storytelling or complex structures, the emphasis now is on creating tracks that are immediate, catchy, and easily repeatable.
I feel like also the TikTok trend of like you're trying to get your song famous on TikTok made people really focus on the hook, because like essentially the hook is mostly like what is on Reels and stuff. I mean, they do sometimes pick a part of a verse and put it on there, but like I feel like people are going like making their songs, trying to get them like TikTok, make them fit for a TikTok nowadays. That's kind of weird.
This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's simply a reflection on how the music landscape has.
Wait, does BossMan Dlow have a slippery floor sign? Oh, he's Mr. Too Slippery. Okay, I get it. That's hard.
Evolved. However, it does raise questions about whether these algorithms are stifling creativity by pushing artists to cater to what works best for the platform rather than what feels most authentic. For rappers like BossMan Dlow, embracing shorter rap songs isn't just a trend, it's a strategic move to stay relevant and thrive in an industry driven by streaming numbers. But as this approach becomes more widespread, it makes us wonder, is this reliance on algorithms dictating the future of music? And if so, what does this mean for the soul and substance of hip-hop as a genre? Back in 2020, something major happened in the music industry that shifted.
I mean, yeah, it is making it where people are shifting towards that, and like this soul of hip-hop is going away, but dude, I kind of like the catchy stuff instead of like the lyrical miracle stuff. Like, I'm not really a lyrical miracle kind of guy, you feel me? That's why I'm not really a Kendrick fan that much. Like, I like the new Kendrick album, like somewhat like Peekaboo, like, but that's a catchy song, you know what I mean? He didn't go so lyrical miracle on every song on there, you feel me?
Shifted the way artists approached their craft. Streaming services like Spotify and platforms like TikTok started playing an even bigger role in shaping what songs became hits. The trend of shorter songs, which had been bubbling under the surface for years, fully exploded. Suddenly, the average song length was shrinking, with more tracks barely hitting the 2-minute mark. Why? Because shorter songs mean higher replay value, which translates to more streams and ultimately more revenue for artists and record labels. This strategy became especially popular in hip-hop, like we stated, through artists like 𝐂𝐑𝐄𝐏 and Lil Pump, coming out of the SoundCloud era, which had already laid the blueprint for this formula. Their success proved that shorter, high-energy tracks could dominate the charts, and the industry hasn't looked back since. I want to share a short little story that ties directly into this conversation. A couple months ago, I was chopping it up with a very successful underground artist who's been killing it in the streaming game. I was looking for some perspective on music I was working on myself.
Wow, why didn't he tell us who it was?
So, I sent him one of my songs to get his opinion. The track had this long intro, beautiful piano, a smooth bass line, and a nice build-up leading up to the hook. Now, the actual song didn't start until the 30-second mark.
Yeah, that's too... I'm not gonna lie, that's cooked. Like, if they have like a long intro like that, like, dude, I'm not listening to that. I fast forward that every single time, no lie. Like, I'm not listening to that.
Personally, I liked it, but of course I want to get a second opinion, and the first thing he told me was, bro, you gotta cut out that intro.
Even the Yeet song with Drake, what the hell is that song called? Dude, what the hell is that song called? Hold on. Oh yeah, 𝐂𝐑𝐄𝐓, bro, like, okay. This is way too long, bro. See, all that, like, I somewhat like it. Y'all know this intro I'm talking about. That's a minute-long intro, bro. I am not listening to that, dude. Even a 30-second one, I'll skip it if they don't get it cracking right off there like that. That's crazy.
He explained that having a 30-second build-up means you're losing potential listeners within the first 10 seconds. Now, this is someone who's made millions of dollars just from streaming, so I knew that they weren't speaking out of nowhere. Still, I pushed back a little to play devil's advocate, asking why it was necessary to sacrifice such a creative moment in the song. Their response was simple but clear. You just have to adapt. That conversation stuck with me because it reflects how the game works now. It's no longer about artistry. It's about understanding the platforms and playing to their strengths. And for better or worse, this is the reality of the modern music industry.
Dude, that goes back to what I was saying about like my reels and my shorts. Dude, I don't want to compromise the content that I'm making just to appease the freaking algorithm. But I feel like that stubbornness is what keeps me stagnant a lot. Like, essentially, I even looked at my own analytics, like I told y'all, and all of my stuff that's shorter, it cracks off way harder in the algorithm. But essentially, I don't want to sacrifice my creative vision just to freaking eat the algorithm's butt. Like, but essentially, it's something that I might have to like consider because yeah, it's a real thing. You have to adapt and change.
A lot of artists, especially rappers, get very discouraged because they don't want to feel like they're sacrificing their artistry just to appeal to the algorithms or latest trends. For many,
that's me, bro.
Making music is a form of self-expression, and having to cut intros, shorten verses, or simplify their sound to fit the current streaming mode can feel like a compromise. And I would say overall it depends on what kind of music that you actually make. As an example, if you're someone like Beat King, who actually passed away a few months ago, rest in peace to Justin Riley, I really miss that guy. But if you're someone like him, who he made strip club anthems, so his songs are short because if the DJ is running through all these songs in the strip club, he kind of wants to feed people quick hits that they can just listen to and then move on to the next track, right? Overall though, the reality is in today's industry, success often hinges on how well you adapt to these changes. It's not just about creating a great song. It's about creating a song that works within the frameworks of platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and TikTok. These platforms reward engagement, replay value, and virality, and shorter songs naturally fit the formula. For For some, this adaptation can feel like selling out, but for others, it's viewed as a necessary evolution to stay relevant and thrive in a rapidly changing industry. The question then becomes, how do you balance staying true to your artistry while navigating the constraints of modern music consumption? It's a challenge that every artist, including those like BossMan Dlow, has to face.
Dude, that's my question. Like, I don't want to compromise on what I'm posting, but at the same time, I need to get it cracking more, you feel me? Dude, I'm just gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to just start posting shorter ones, because that's the ones that get you cracking, dude, and that's the main way to get cracking nowadays is from short form content.
Unfortunately, the common listeners is the ultimate gatekeeper to finding massive success in today's music industry. It's not just about crafting a song that resonates with your core fans anymore. It's about appealing to the masses who control streams, likes, and shares. These casual listeners often decide the fate of a song within the first 10 seconds, and if it doesn't hook them immediately, they'll skip to the next track without a second thought. And funny enough, what kind of signal does that send to the algorithm? Well, it's essentially saying this product isn't worth listening to because people are skipping it. And
that's what happens on my shit. Like, essentially, same thing that he's talking about, that's what happens on YouTube, even on long form content and short form content. The longer that people watch your video, the more the algorithm pushes it. So if they're clicking off halfway or a quarter way through, the algorithm's gonna bury you, and you're not gonna get any more views.
that's why a lot of artists are just choosing to adapt. The algorithm interprets those skips as a lack of interest, which can tank your song's performance on streaming platforms. The longer of a window you give listeners to skip your track, the more likely it is that they actually will. That's why so many artists are trimming intros, jumping straight into hooks, and keeping their songs short and punchy. It's about minimizing the risk of disengagement and maximizing the chance of capturing and holding.
I've known this, but I think I need to start prioritizing it more. This is you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. You feel me? Even though I hate to compromise like that, I gotta, you just have to.
The listener's attention. But here's the catch: while this strategy can boost numbers, it also pressures artists to prioritize what's immediately attention grabbing over what's creatively fulfilling. This dynamic has forced artists, particularly in hip hop, to rethink their approach to music. For artists like BossMan Dlow, this means adapting to the reality of what actually works in the streaming era. Short songs with instant appeal are often more effective in reaching a broader audience. But this raises a critical question: how can artists stand out and leave a lasting impact in a world where attention spans are shrinking and music is increasingly becoming more disposable? Especially in the kind of generation we live now, often referred to as the microwave era. Everything moves at lightning speed. This is a time where a lot of the young kids grew up on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and other platforms that deliver quick dopamine hits in a matter of seconds.
Dude, that shit's so bad. I'm not gonna go on a rant about that because everyone knows it's trash, but dude, kids nowadays are just, dude, they're nothing compared to what kids used to be. Like, there's, like, essentially, it makes me feel like I don't want to even give 𝐂𝐃 a phone because I know he's gonna just start rotting his brain and just killing his attention span. It's just bad, dude.
Patience for anything long form or drawn out has disappeared, and that mindset has carried over into how people consume music. This mindset isn't just limited to music. It's directly related to content creation as well, which is its own art form. For someone who builds their audience on TikTok or Instagram through 30-second videos, converting those consumers into loyal followers of your long-form content is an uphill battle. These platforms train audiences to expect quick, digestible content, so asking them to commit to something longer can be a tough sell. On the flip side, if you take someone like me or any other content creator who focuses on long-form content, it's often easier to adapt to shorter formats when needed. That's because an audience built around longer, in-depth content tends to be more engaged and invested. They're willing to stick around for the message, which creates a stronger foundation when transitioning to other platforms or formats. This difference highlights how important it is to understand your audience.
That's one thing also that I've realized is, like, he's right. It's really hard to convert someone from short form content to watch your long form content. I've had essentially, like, in shorts in total, like, I've probably had, like, dude, I've had, like, hundreds of thousands of views on shorts, but guess what? None of that. I've never converted one viewer from a short or TikTok to watch my stream. Never, not once. It's really hard to convert from short form content to your long form content. No one cares about that, bro.
And the type of content they're drawn to. Whether you're an artist, a content creator, or both, Finding the right balance between short form and long form content is key to building a sustainable and loyal fan base in today's fast-paced digital landscape. The reason why it's easier for me to keep people coming back to long form content is because the seed that I get to plant in your mind has a stronger, more lasting impact compared to someone who focuses on quick, surface level hits. Long form content allows me to dive deeper and create a connection that resonates beyond a fleeting moment. That said, different strokes for different folks. I'm not here to downplay anyone's approach. I'm just calling it like it is. Both methods have their strengths. But the real question...
He knows what he's talking about, dude. He does. Like, all my loyalist supporters are from long form content. I've never gotten an actual loyal supporter from short form ever.
...is which one leaves a lasting impression and builds something sustainable over time, and which one doesn't. This is very similar.
That's what they also say. They also say that, like, okay, if you blow up quickly off of TikTok, Instagram, if you blow up quickly off short form content, it's not sustainable. Like, if you go see, there's a lot of channels that blow up off shorts on YouTube as well, and they can never convert it to long form content, and that's because it's like impossible. I wouldn't say it's better to play the slow game, but essentially playing the slow game and slowly accruing an audience to, like, actually build loyal supporters in the long run is better than just blowing up off of a short, because they're not that invested in you if they're finding you from short form content, if that makes sense.
Similar to why artists who go deeper tend to build more loyal fan bases. Take a look at Kendrick Lamar or even Drake. Both of these artists have carved out their own space in the game. What sets them apart is the level of depth they bring to their music, which creates a strong connection with their listeners. They don't just aim for the surface, they hit their audience where it matters the most, the mind and the heart. Whether it's Kendrick's thought-provoking storytelling or Drake's emotional relatability, both have mastered the art of leaving a lasting impact that keeps fans coming back for more. And it's this depth that turns casual listeners into lifelong supporters. Interestingly, neither.
After I watch this, I'm about to play with Rico.
Kendrick nor Drake are known for making short songs, yet they both achieved massive success, proving that you don't have to follow the algorithm to make it big. Now, it's true that they both came up in a different era of the music industry, one that wasn't as heavily influenced by streaming and algorithms. However, I still think the point stands. Whether it's emotional depth, Drake, or substance in music, Kendrick, it's possible to transcend trends. Their success shows that connecting with listeners on a deeper level, rather than simply chasing what's popular, can lead to longevity and a loyal fan base.
That's essentially what I'm trying to do, chat. That's essentially what I'm trying to do with long form, instead of just being a freaking meat rider of the algorithm, but it's really hard, dude. I might have to just start meat riding the algorithm, I can't lie.
Overall, I wouldn't say that BossMan Dlow is wrong for what he's doing at all. There's a reason he has momentum. He's clearly figured something out. One of the cornerstones of success in any field is how well you adapt, and BossMan is a great example of that. He's observing what's working in the game, mentally placing himself in it, and taking action based on what resonates. And that's the formula for success. That said, it's unfortunate that taking what I like to call the righteous path by, staying true to artistic depth and originality often makes it harder to achieve the same level of success. The reality is the game rewards what works in the moment, not necessarily what's timeless. So did BossMan Dlow expose why rap is dying? You tell me. Anyway, if you made it this far, that means that you...
I don't think so, because essentially that I like the less substance music, which I know I'm ragging on, like, attention spans and stuff, but I like the music that's short and punchy, if that makes sense, like, so I don't know. And that's the music that BossMan Dlow makes. So I don't know what he would what he's meaning by, like, did BossMan Dlow expose hip hop dying? Because he makes music like that and it's cracking. So
enjoy this video and this conversation, perhaps. So how about drop a like? And if you're new here, my name is Blackie Speaks. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the family. Thank you for...
I'm already subbed with, bro. You know the vibe.
...for subscribing. Any thoughts on this topic? I feel like BossMan Dlow kind of exposed why rap is actually dying, because this conversation is definitely one of the core reasons why we always keep on coming back to this topic, right? So anyway,
I feel like it's getting better. I feel like it's getting better like that because that lyrical miracle stuff is some absolute butt.
You know what I think, and I want to really hear what you have to say, so you let me know in the comment
This guy seems like he's like a lyrical miracle lover. Like, I don't know why, it just seems like it.
section below, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace. I'm out.
W video Black. Yeah, I liked that video, dude. I really liked that. It got me yapping, you feel me? But yeah, I mean, all the stuff he said was right, but really what that made me think of is I'm gonna have to start doing what BossMan Dlow does and just start me writing the algorithm, you feel me?